Blog Talk Radio.
Welcome to the War Room. We got Dev, Kill, Jimmy, PJ, B. Austin, the Hot Block Commander. How you want it in a 1 or 2 hour show to keep the brain running with the premise to talk sports on a national level. Bold with the topic, sorta like some rebels when it's game time. They like the Fab Five during prime time. Sports conglomerates speak their minds a little bit. For sports medicine and sports veterans and greats. The 4th and 26th saw the war in Kuwait. It's the War Room with 5 nights at the round table. 5 Philly guys diversified and educated.
4th and 26 with Doc Bay in Kuwait. We gotta change that. What up, everybody out there in War Room Nation? You are once again live in the War Room, brought to you by War Room Sports on the War Room Sports Podcast Network. I'm one of your hosts. I'm Dev McMillan. I'm at the round table with my brother, Jimmy the Blueprint. B. Austin is slated to join us a little bit later, but we hope everyone has digested last week's gorge session, thrown away any leftovers that weren't eaten by, Saturday. Shout out to the homie Plies. But it's time to get into the craziness that was this past week in sports. So keep it locked right here for all of the tea happening in the world of sports. And to get in on the conversation, make sure you sign in right now to the JW Philly Realty chat room at blogtalkradio.com/the war room. Shout out to Neil. I see you already in there. Salute. You can also call us directly in about 15 minutes after we gamble with Gus. That's when we open up the Digital Extreme Tech hotline at numbers 323-410-0012. Before we get started, as usual, we want to make sure that during the week when we're not live on the air, you check out archive episodes of our show at warroomsports.com, the War Room Sports mobile app, iTunes, TuneIn, Stitcher, Spreaker, Google, wherever the hell you listen to podcasts, man. We are sure to be there. Salute. What up, Jim? What's going on, man? B. Austin in the house as well. What's up, fellas? How's the week so far?
What's cracking,
man?
Or should I say?
Y'all settled down after Hell Day, Eat Day.
Yo, I was definitely testing major PVC as a result of Hell Day, and man, really excited with some of the things going on. We may be working with a new sponsor. I met with a potential sponsor today that loves the content and programming, and so keep an eye out for that, listeners. We're about to do some big things.
Damn, why you gonna bring on the show though?
Money.
Boy cutting side bills like you know what I mean?
Peruvian.
Yeah, he said he cutting side deals with the Peruvian. They're gonna bring it on to the air. Like, yo, yeah, we got a new deal. Damn.
and then I followed up with the money. So they probably listening like, oh, never mind.
Yo, B. Austin probably tied us to a deal. B. Austin probably tied us to a deal with some Malaysian terrorists or something. We don't even know.
As long as they got that money. We probably followed Kawhi in New Balance. We rocking with New Balance or what?
Yo.
We're going to talk about that in a little while. What's wrong with y'all, man? But look, man, I got to update
Mute
y'all
Ones
on
coming soon.
Mute Ones. I got to update y'all on something real quick before we get started. You know, I made an announcement a few weeks ago that I might be leaving the show. Got to tell my brothers that I won't be leaving the show. Turns out that I'm not a superhero. I took the dealership today, and there was just like a loose battery terminal or whatever. So it was, when it was loose, everything, the electric, all of that stuff shut down, and the spot that I touched kind of nudged it just enough to reset. So I'm not Black Lightning. I'm going to have to stay here at my day job. I won't be saving anybody. Hopefully I can be a superhero to my children. It sounds like one of them speeches where you did something wrong. Hopefully moving forward, I can be a superhero to my children, but I won't be saving the world.
I just hope you don't fight as stiff as Black Lightning do on a TV show. My man be like swinging punches and his arms don't even move. Like,
his
the worst fighter.
Weak.
You're the worst superhero fighter there is, B.
Ain't that an oxymoron though? Like a superhero with bad fight scenes. It's kind of like one of my favorite new shows, All American, great show about football, but the actual football scenes, yeah, they leave a little to the imagination,
Dog,
man. But shout out to
you gotta see.
we actually got some people involved in that. Shout out to one of our homies, John Carroll, because his wife is actually a writer, producer, showrunner. The person that gets All American done and gets it out to the people. So shout out to them. Show. It is a great show. Love that show. They should stop playing football.
You gotta watch Family Business. You gotta watch Family Business on BET, yo, because this is like a business gangster family type show. But the action scenes might be the worst action scenes I've ever seen. I've ever seen on anything. Like how you gonna have a show when like they be.
I think today in TV, like everybody's so like they're so good with the writing of their shows, like they just everything else, like they're like, all right, whatever.
The drama be getting you there, and then they go to pull the gun out, and you're like, yo, what is this? It looks like yo, it's like trash.
Look like a Three Stooges
so
fight
trash.
scene or something.
And it makes me mad because it's based on the book, and like I got this like visual in my head, then I watch it, and it's like, yo, this is trash. But anyway,
all right. Well, before we get started, man, first of all, shout out. We need to have we haven't talked to Roy and Chris on the air in a minute, man. Shout out to the guys over at the Broad Street line doing their thing, man. We gotta get Voltron back together on the air and talk about some of this crazy stuff happening in sports. But we about to get into some stuff, but before we do, of course, we have to gamble with Gus and then get into some hot topics. All that is brought to you by MyBookie. Let's take 1 second out of this program to talk about how you guys can make some money betting on sports at MyBookie. The NBA, NFL, NHL, all of those leagues are just chugging right along. So if you haven't checked out MyBookie yet, it's a great time to do that if you're a degenerate gambler, like some people I know. Lay down some dough on the biggest games in sports. Join the War Room. A lot of War Room supporters and thousands of other online fans placing bets at mybookie.ag. If you're tired of wondering, if you're going to get your payout or not when you win, you don't have to do that anymore. When you win, they pay fast, no hassles. You're wasting your time betting on sports anywhere else. They even have in-game live betting, so you can place wagers after the damn game start. Yes, I know. That's crazy. Join now, and MyBookie will match your first deposit with a 100% bonus. You heard it right, 100%. So just use the promo code WARROOM, all caps, WARROOM, to activate this offer. Visit mybookie.ag today. Play, win, get paid, period. Early. All right, so before we get into everything that we got to get into, we're going to get Gus Griffin on the line so we can talk about what's crack-a-lacking in the NFL as far as betting this week. Gus, what's going on, good brother? You there?
Yeah, I'm here. How you doing?
All right, how are you?
Other than a 0-3-1 week last week, I'm all right.
You in the States or you laying low? What's up?
I'm in the States looking for that doggone Washington kicker whose missed extra point cost me one win.
Yeah. 0-3-1 last week, but you're still 28-27-3 on the season. So, what's up with the Thursday nighter? Cowboys versus Saints. Actually, the Saints are going to visit the Cowboys in this one. What's the line? What you taking?
Okay, that's that line is 7 points, and I'm taking Dallas, and here's why. The Cowboys are playing well. They're giving up less than 100 yards rushing per game. Dak is actually throwing the ball downfield. 8-1 TD interception ratio in the last 6 games, over 100 rating in that same period of time. Amari Cooper has jumped off the milk carton and returned to his 2016 form. Good pass rush. Zeke's leading the league in rushing. They have the formula to slow the Saints down. They still need other things to happen. And frankly, as much of this pick is as much about the Saints can't possibly keep playing at this level. It's
right.
It's PlayStation-like right now. They've covered 9 straight games.
Considering
9 straight games.
Considering I root for another team in the NFC East, Gus, I hope that they keep playing at least one more week. But I feel what you're saying. I was on an NFL show earlier today, and we talked about that. And I still think it'll be a double-digit win. So I guess I would go another way. But I don't think it's going to be the kind of double-digit win that they've been getting. I'm talking, minimal double digits, 10 points, anywhere between 10 and 15, not 48-7 and all kinds of stuff like that. But I agree that Dallas might slow them down some. But
well, Dallas they're one of 3 teams that's holding people to under 20 points a game. They're right around 19. They're third in the league. So add a touchdown to that. That puts it at around 26. My thinking is if they can hold them to 27, they'll cover. If they can hold Saints to 24, and that's no small task, they got a chance to win that game. So I'm taking the Saints plus. I'm taking the Cowboys plus 7. We need to hold. They may need plus 2 in the turnover thing, but again, as much of this is just that the Saints are approaching 2 months playing on a PlayStation level, and it's got to drop off at some point.
DeMarcus Lawrence gave him a little bit of bulletin board material, so if he go out there and back it up, then they have a chance. At least to cover. Maybe not a chance to win, but a chance to cover. If they win, I might not talk to you next week because I'll probably slit my wrist if Dallas wins this game. But other than that, let's move on to the next game, and that is an over-under. That's the Browns and the Texans. I think the number is 47. What are you doing?
Yes.
Over or under? Yes.
I'm taking the over. Both have gone over in 3 of their last 4 games. The offenses are trending upward for both of them. 2 good pass rushes here, but I think Nick Chubb is starting to come into his own. So I think the Browns' strategy will be to run enough to maybe take a possession or 2 away from the Texans. But, man, the Texans are the second hottest team in football. And it's just because the Saints are so off the chart, a lot of people don't notice them. But they've been playing extremely well. But I think this is going to be I see a 30-20 game, something in that range. Taking the over.
To get the Browns to make the over easy every week, just put Hugh Jackson on the other sideline. It'll be easy.
Hey, look, he must know. He must have compromising pictures with someone in the NFL high-ups for him to continue to keep getting jobs like this. I mean, Cat's got 9 lives, man. I don't know how many he has.
It makes a lot of sense to where he is now because Jimmy B. Austin and myself, throughout the years, we've been talking about whatever it is that Marvin Lewis has over Bengals ownership because, he keeps that job no matter what happens. They're just happy to be close to the playoffs every year, being the Bengals.
And not have to pay more.
But this works out for Hugh because, after being hired, after his first head coaching performance, now his homie is still in line, with a job. So he picks him up. And I even heard rumors this week that they're looking at him as Marvin Lewis's possible replacement when Marvin Lewis decides to step down. 2 things in that. We're not used to black head coaches having the choice of when the hell they want to step down. Nor do those guys get to name their replacement, especially a replacement who's won like 6 games his whole damn coaching career. So this.
Well, maybe Cincinnati's Wakanda.
Man, maybe this is progress. That's definitely Wakanda. Something. I'm about to start rooting for the Bengals, man. Just because we're gonna be losers, but I'm gonna start rooting. Speaking of the Bengals, we got the Broncos versus the Bengals. What's the line on this one, and which way are you going?
It's -5. I'm taking the Broncos. The Bengals are in a free fall. Dalton is out. AJ is questionable. With the guy Drexel, I don't drink. I don't even want to mess his name up in disrespect. I don't know where they're going to get any points at. The Broncos have beaten the Chargers and Steelers in consecutive games. And they covered both games with the Chiefs. They're actually better than a lot of people think they are. So I think the Broncos are going to win this pretty handily.
Okay. This could be that trap game for the Broncos, but we'll see. Then we got the Colts versus the Jags. The Jags are completely falling apart at this point. They're out here fighting on the sidelines in front of the fans. Fournette is suspended. Bortles has been benched. Jalen Ramsey is questionable, and that's probably only because of his pride. What's the line on this one, and where you going? Colts are kind of hot at the moment.
Yeah, Colts -4. I don't generally like to lay points on the road within the division, but it's pretty much what you just said, and you could pretty much repeat what we talked about with the Bengals. When you got question marks at quarterback, man, I mean, what are you going to do? And with all that's said about Bortles, he's still probably the best one they got. So I got Colts -4 in that.
All right, and last but not least, we got your Steelers versus the Chargers. This should be a good one. I think the line there is, 3.5? Where are you going with it?
3.5. If you're not comfortable laying it, buy the hook off, go with 3. You lose a little value, but you can do that. Melvin Gordon is out. And I think even though the backup's pretty good, but, I mean, he's not Melvin Gordon. The Steelers have a top 10 defense now. I think they can make the Chargers and Rivers one-dimensional, and he certainly isn't mobile. So I see the Steelers in a bounce-back game covering that 3.5 points. And, again, if you're not comfortable with that, you can buy it off to 3.
All right. So there we have it. Like I said, we're sitting at 28, 27, and 3. We got to go on another run. We got to get a little farther over 500. We're dipping into that 500 territory. So we'll see how it goes. But as usual, Gus, we definitely thank you for your time. Thank you for your picks. And also, everybody, be on the lookout this weekend for an article from Gus about chemistry in sports. And he's going to examine whether or not chemistry in sports is an overrated concept. That's a great topic. That's definitely a great topic. I think it's one that we've actually discussed before, but maybe not that much in depth. So I'm curious to see your thoughts on it, and maybe we can even make it a topic off of your article going into next week's show. So everybody look out for that. Thanks again, Gus, and we will wrap to you next week.
All right, thank you.
All right. Gus Griffin, everybody, go get your picks in for this week's NFL games. All right, man. Speaking of that, man, I know we some of us talked about this in the chat earlier in the week, Jimmy and B. Austin. We were talking about the way the Cleveland Browns were basically disrespecting Hugh Jackson all throughout the game as they were routing the Bengals last week. And it was crazy. At one point in the game in the second quarter, a cornerback, what's his name again? Devorius. What is dude's name? I got it right here. Demarius Randall. I'm sorry, I called him Devorius. He got an interception, luckily for him, because he claimed that he planned to do this if he got one. He was at a part on the sideline when he ran out of bounds that was near where Hugh Jackson was standing. He goes out there and hands him the ball, not in like some friendly way, in a disrespectful way. After the game, when everybody's hugging each other, Hugh Jackson tries to go up to Baker Mayfield after Baker Mayfield sprayed the Bengals for 4 touchdown passes. Tried to, give him a handshake and go in for the hug, and Baker kind of kept the arm stiff so he couldn't pull him in for a hug. Afterwards, Baker Mayfield was asked about, why he snubbed him on the hug. And he basically said, well, he left Cleveland, goes down to Cincinnati. He said this is somebody that was in our locker room asking for us to play for him and then goes to a different team we play twice a year. Everybody can have their spin on it, but that's how I feel. What do you feel about that, Jimmy, first of all? And B, what do y'all feel about the feeling that these guys have for Hugh Jackson after he was fired?
I think it's meathead bravado, and I'm okay with it. As long as we acknowledge that there's a level of idiocy where these guys aren't fully engaging their brain. Hugh didn't ask to be fired. It's not like he rolled out and said, "Hey, I'm leaving." He was literally he was fired and put in a position where Marvin Lewis could give him a gig. I mean, so
might be his only lifeline left.
Only right. So if they're thinking logically, that's where I would want them to arrive. But being, in the gladiator sport, or the closest we can get to gladiator sport, save for MMA and boxing, I'm like, okay, I don't mind you being on your Kellen Winslow, us against them, this is war type John, and I think that's kind of where they are. Plus it belies perhaps the internal strife that some of the players had. We know Baker Mayfield had internal strife with you when he was there. So, I think that it kind of speaks to the level of relationship and respect that he had with the players before he rolled out.
Funny thing is, though, I heard that Hugh Jackson was an advocate for Baker Mayfield. I heard he wanted to start him off jump, but they made him, grab Tyrod Taylor. They made him give Tyrod his chances. Jimmy, what do you think about this? Like, is Hugh required to be loyal to these guys after he was fired?
No, I don't. First off, you got fired. You went to find gainful employment.
He just leave and go to them.
If any other time, and I guess the only reason he gets defense in the media is because he has the complexion for the connection. Because if this was Tyrod Taylor and he behaved the same way, he'd be getting trashed all over the place. Let's keep it a buck here. But he's disrespecting a black coach, so it's cool. It's cool for him to do so. That's the one thing. Second thing is, the bull got fired and he went to get employment so he can find money to put food on his family. Like, you can't be upset at that man for that. That's it's just overall trash to me. Like, and I mean, even if you feel that way, some things don't have to be said. Everything don't got to be said.
Everything don't got to be said. My only problem, Jimmy, and I feel you. You are right. But, Baker Mayfield is 3 times the quarterback T-Mobile is, yo.
But was Baker Mayfield unloyal when he transferred from Texas Tech to go to Oklahoma?
Ooh.
When he decided to transfer to a different school, was he unloyal?
I don't know nothing about that.
Yeah. And this whole thing, that's my whole point.
I'm not saying he is,
Jimmy. For me, it's like, okay, if y'all have other reasons that you want to stick it to your former coach, then that's fine. If there was something internal that we didn't know about and you didn't like him for some reason, Demarius Randall didn't like him for some reason, just guys, period, didn't like him, then I understand that. But we can only go off what these dudes said when they were asked. And all of these dudes, when they were asked, had beef with him going to a division rival, which makes no sense to me whatsoever. If he's your coach and in the middle of the season he just gets a better offer and he decides to step down on his own and leave, then everything that you're doing and saying might have some type of, it might have some type of legitimacy to it. But he was fired. He was fired and he was offered a job within the division. Hell yeah, I'm taking that job.
When Baker decided to leave Texas Tech for a better situation in Oklahoma, he wasn't fired. He decided to do that on his own merit because he wanted to play for a better situation on a rival team. So
that's way more of a rivalry. That's way more of a rivalry than some.
Yeah. But now you want to do this. Now you want to do this because you got your melanated coach. Not saying listen, the board didn't produce as well as he should have. Everybody knows that. But to see him slander like this is crazy. It's crazy, cuz it's absolutely crazy. And I'm telling you, if this was the other way around, we'd be looking at the situation completely different.
See,
you know what I'm saying? They want one way, but it's the other way.
It's either nonsensical reasoning or they're lying or withholding some information. Maybe Baker Mayfield is salty that in one interview Hugh talked about before Baker Mayfield was even on the table, this wasn't even his year, he talked about how he wanted Carson Wentz. I don't see how you get upset at that. It's not like it was you versus Carson Wentz and he wanted them to select Carson Wentz instead of you. Y'all were in 2 totally different drafts. So for him to say, yeah, the year before we got Baker Mayfield, or the 2 years before, I wanted another quarterback that was on the board, but they traded a bunch of picks to let the Eagles have it. Why would you get offended over that if that's his real reasoning? Because that's all I could think of, unless they had some internal strife that we don't know about. The only thing that you could even think about him being offended over is the fact that dude said he wanted Carson Wentz. But even that is silly because that was 2 years before you.
And even if you feel that way, it doesn't have to be said. It just doesn't have to be said. He's corny.
Yeah.
He's trash. And his career fails.
He's in Cleveland. He already failed.
And Cleveland got a lot of
true.
bravado to be what they, the team that they are. Like, you tell them that they're a little bit talented, and they go running off at the mouth like they nice.
Yeah.
Like, Cleveland need to chill.
I agree with that. In and of itself, I've watched a couple of their games, and they got a lot of talent on that roster, and Baker Mayfield is definitely, from what I can see, a baller. But you're in Cleveland, dude. You got to keep your head down and shut up.
When do they not have a lot of talent? They pick first every year. But Baker Mayfield and everybody else who's giving Hugh flack for leaving and going to a division team after he was fired. Skyview 1 in the chat room says Baker should be careful that he doesn't go the way of Johnny Football. You call no shots as a rookie. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't like that reasoning. Tell me y'all had beef, and during the season. Then okay, I can even understand that more.
Just say, but don't even say that. Just don't say anything. Say, look, we didn't get along. It is what it is, and leave it alone. Like all that, you's a noodle, man.
All right, I got a quick question, man, because the Dallas Cowboys are playing the New Orleans Saints in the Thursday nighter. Everybody expects the Saints to win this game, and the way they've beaten everybody else in the division, that's why I said if Dallas actually wins that game, I'll probably end up slitting my wrist. But if they do go ahead and beat the Cowboys, and the Eagles are able to handle business against the Washington professional football team on Monday night, that would leave the NFC East in a three-way tie at 3 teams sitting at 6-6 at the top of the division. So if the weekend plays out how it could play out in order to make this happen, B, who do you see winning this division? Everybody with a clean slate with with how many? That'll be 6-6. So everybody with a clean slate with 4 more games left to go. Who do you think takes this division? And
it's anybody's division.
If you need the schedules before your answer, I can give you that too.
And I probably do. It's anybody's division. We kind of knew somewhere deep down inside, like we've all seen that the division is trash, is a trash ass division. But we kind of knew that as good as Washington was playing, they were going to regress back to the mean. And I've seen Colt McCoy ball. I've seen Colt McCoy ball, and he can't throw a football. Like, he's not Tim Tebow bad, but he can't throw. Like, it takes him takes him everything he has to throw the ball 25 yards. Like, everything. Like, he puts everything he's got in the 25. That's not an NFL quarterback, y'all. So they're going to rely even more on a 33-year-old cyborg to run the rock, and they'll probably mix it up. They've been throwing the rock pretty well. So I see them.
Had a good defense.
They do. I see them sliding as bad as we've been playing, meaning the Eagles. That Monday nighter is definitely not a gimme for us because we look like we don't know how to play football anymore. So, even with Colt McCoy, we mess around and find a way to lose that. Unfortunately, Dallas, it pains me to say this, but Dallas might look strong, y'all. Like they look like they're getting their ish together. Now, I still don't see them as a serious contender against any of the other NFC East playoffs.
Anybody who comes out of the NFC East is getting trounced in the first round.
They're going to get their head. They're going to get asked. Listen, they're going to get asked to step on the curb like American History X when they come out of the East. Like, just go ahead and step on that curb. Yeah. So that's that. Yeah, you're right. That's a given. But I'm afraid of Dallas even more than I'm afraid of the Washington professional football team, because they do look like they're gelling a little bit. The tackling Dutchman, Vander Esch, I think his name is.
Yeah, he about to make them forget about Sean Lee real quick.
Sean Lee, what? Make them forget. Sean Lee job going. Sean Lee job going, bro. He cut. Vander Esch is a baller. He a baller. So I'm scared. Yeah, I'm scared of them. So
right,
it is anybody's division.
Let's say, because they say that the Eagles have the toughest schedule left. I think, because two of the teams, and I'm going to give you the schedules right now. If everything plays out this weekend the way I said, to even the slate, make everybody 6-6, the Cowboys would have remaining on their schedule the Eagles at home, at the Colts, which is no longer a gimme, the Buccaneers at home, and at the Giants. So not too imposing of a schedule left, but, it still will show us what they really are, because they could easily go in there, choke a couple games. Now, Washington, after this Monday nighter against the Eagles, they have the Giants at home. They're at Jacksonville, at Tennessee, and then they have the Eagles at home for the last game of the season, December 30th. Same thing here. The Jags are basically in a free fall. But you think back to what they were last season, and you think once in a while they may be able to conjure up something. I mean, they beat the Patriots earlier in the year. The Titans are kind of inconsistent because they beat some teams that people think they shouldn't beat, and then they lose, other games where you thought, okay, I was just starting to believe in the Titans, but never mind. The Eagles, after the Monday nighter against Washington, they're at the Cowboys, at the Rams for an ass whooping. Then they have the Texans at home, and then they're at Washington to end the season. So the good thing about them is, even starting this week, 3 of their games remaining are against the division. So if somehow they can remember how to play football like they did last year, and they can win these games in the division, that'll suit them well for any tiebreakers coming down the road if you're leading the division. But December 16th at the Rams, the Eagles probably shouldn't even make the trip. Just say your plane broke down or something. Just give them the forfeit. And the Texans are sitting at 8-3 right now. Even though that's a home game, that's not going to be an easy win. That might be 2 weeks in a row of ass whooping. So their only chance might be to run the table in the NFC East for the remaining.
The Rams are going to figure out a way to put up 97 points on them. They're going to give
the Rams. The Rams is going to ram. Never mind. With no lubrication.
And then the Texans on the low, the Texans going to hang a 40-piece on us because they got a black quarterback that when he's on his Dean, he might be my replacement for Teddy Bumwater.
Teddy Bumwater lighting it up, and who else? Jameis for a minute. For a minute, when we thought Jameis when we thought his maturity would catch up with his game.
Don't talk about both.
In the chat room, Neil said the Dreadskins are trash. And she said, "Don't tell my husband I said that again."
They're not though. They are because of their quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, even with you had the ultimate game manager. The dude wasn't going to win you games, and he wasn't going to lose you games. So playing with the defense the way they've been playing and the way that the running game was going, they were. I keep saying they were because it's not over yet. They're a decent team this year, but the injury bug has caught up with them. It's a lot of people that was banged up on the offensive line even before the quarterback got Joe Theismann. So before that happened, it was starting to go downhill a little bit. But we'll see. I don't believe in that situation no matter what anyway. But if it does go downhill from here, they're going to use that as an excuse. And, I grant you whatever excuses you need, as long as I don't have to live through success of the Washington Pro. All right, so let's get to the phone lines real quick, because Jimmy and I are about to have a conversation about Creed 2 in a minute. B, did you happen to see it yet or no? Where the hell B go? Either way, you can, when we talk about that, you can. Yeah, I know.
No,
so like
I have not.
You can ask questions.
I have not
and we'll answer them if you know, or you can step away from the table for a minute if you don't want the spoilers. But if you don't care, then you can whatever. But let's go to the phone lines. We got the homie Tobias calling in from Arizona. Roll damn Tide.
Hey, roll damn Tide, fellas. Like I said, when y'all talk about Alabama, like I said, Fred don't know what the hell he talking about. Then I say Alabama's going to curb stomp Auburn. Damn all that rivalry week crap. I said it. Y'all need to start listening to me.
Alabama just as hard as Alabama fans.
Hey, I need Fred to stick with his loser Hurricanes, who's more like a tropical depression right now. But here's
Jimmy.
Here's the thing.
Showed me something earlier today where Mark Wick can't even get his own nephew to come play quarterback for him. They in trouble.
Can't say I blame him. Here's the thing. Alabama, everybody talking about Georgia. Georgia's a good team, but when you're last in the conference in sacks, and Alabama gives up the fewest number of sacks in the conference, that means Tua Tagovailoa and Alabama, we just call him GOAT, it's going to pick them apart. There's a saying down south. I know you city folk don't get this saying. When a dog doesn't hunt, it gets put down, and the dog won't hunt. In the words of the immortal Pat Dye, well, he coached Auburn, but he made sense. But Pat Dye said this 10 years ago when Alabama beat Georgia so bad he stopped wearing black jerseys. He said Georgia ain't man enough to beat Alabama, and they ain't going to be man enough to beat Alabama this week, fellas. Yeah, I said it.
When you eat your dog and smash
Yo, I look forward to you calling in to my show to talk your shit about Alabama, brother. Go ahead and talk to me.
Hey, and by the way, hey, I got to say this about Baker Mayfield real quick. If Cam Newton was doing that stuff, they'd be killing Cam Newton right now.
Cam, shout out.
Hey, because the thing is, Hugh had to take that job because no one else is going to hire him even for a get-back coach. So he had to take that job. What do they expect Hugh to do?
Yeah, he said the get-back coach. Yeah, that's the dude that tell everybody on the sideline to get back. Yeah.
Here's the thing. Hey, you know, that's another saying that down south my mama always say. Baker Mayfield smelling himself. This dude has a couple of good games against bad defenses, and they acting like he's Drew Brees all of a sudden. The Browns still not making the playoffs. When they went to Pittsburgh, they got smoked. They still got a road trip to Baltimore where they're going to get smoked at. And everybody's liking all this talk from him. But after a while, he's going to have to back up that talk, especially ain't a rookie no more. And Cleveland's a tough town. They're going to be like, are you doing all this talking, all this bravado, but if it doesn't add up to wins the next year or so, they're going to come back on him, or even with the new coach.
Yeah, like we talked about it earlier, man. We really don't understand what he's doing out there. But Cleveland, you know, when the bar has been set so low for your franchise, like just having talent is enough for you to go out there and act like you the best has ever done it. So,
can we be honest for a second, guys? I don't know what Baker mad about when he was talking about Carson Wentz. Carson was 2 years ahead, and I hate to break it to you, Baker. Carson, Mahomes, Deshaun Watson, Jared Goff, they're all better than you. I hate to break it to you. We got to be honest here.
Hey, what your Bulls gonna do, man? I see Jabari's in the starting lineup now. Somebody was injured.
Hey, we got man.
I don't know if he's gonna give that back. He been getting like 2 games in a row. I saw his stat line was something like 24, 8 rebounds, 4 assists. I don't know if y'all won them games. I don't think so, but
we didn't win those games.
Jabari, they about to be one of the best duos in the league after all the trash you talk.
Hey, Jabari reminded me of Private Powell from Full Metal Jacket. He only gets motivated when he got that jelly donut on the other side. Here's the thing.
No.
Here's the thing. The Bulls stink. We are angling for the brotherhood, somebody from the brotherhood. Now, I would love to see R.J. Barrett and Zach LaVine because it'd be a total of 10 assists a game for the whole team for the whole game. But you put your worst defenders out there, you tank, you might as well go because Markkanen still ain't back yet. You know, Clubber Lang, a.k.a. Bobby Portis, he's out right now as well. And Fred Hoiberg just looked defeated, poor guy. But I got to get on with y'all right quick. I heard B also slandering my boy Jameis, man. I know he ain't have a good year. But all I got to say is that when we finally get rid of Dirk Cutter.
Man.
Hey.
Biggest Jameis supporter. The man throws the ball to the other team and he doesn't care.
What I'm saying is that this organization is so dysfunctional. The coaching is so terrible. The organization is so dysfunctional. He ain't have a chance. I don't think any young quarterback will have a chance for that.
So basically what you're saying is your organization is as it always is.
Bingo! Name any young quarterback who thrived there.
Maybe y'all need new owners then. I mean,
bingo!
Y'all are the same dude. Y'all are the same dudes that got rid of Steve Young and Doug Williams. I mean, two Super Bowl winning quarterbacks. Y'all just said we don't want them. And y'all got rid of Vinny Testaverde, who had a solid career too, right? I mean, that's just what y'all do.
Oh, he had a solid career. And the thing is, like what the Bucks do, right? Hey, we gonna stick with 35-year-old Brent Grimes at number one. Hey, we gonna stick a bunch of rookies over there in the whole secondary. Hey, y'all go have at it. Getting torched. It's just that they have no plan. They have no organization, no structure. And look at the team, the young quarterbacks that everyone loves. Look at how structured they are. Look at the organization. Look at how well coached they are. There's a big correlation with that. Hold on, B. Austin. I'm not saying this guy's going to be Aaron Rodgers or Tom Brady. I'm not. But I'm saying that he could at least be a Matt Ryan-level quarterback. And Matt Ryan's not bad. Not saying he's great, but he's a good player. I'm saying you get that if you got some organization, a coach who actually believes in him.
But here's what you're missing, Tobias. He can be that. He just can't be that for y'all. Because as long as y'all got the people running the show, he'll never be that. So let him get out of Tampa for his own good.
And that's what I'm thinking because, honestly, that's what I think because, mind you, we got a coach who loves Deshaun Jackson more than he sides with a young quarterback. It's like he rubs off Deshaun Jackson every time they get in the car or something. I don't know. But this dude loves Deshaun Jackson. You know, Mr. I only run half speed. Mr. Unless the ball is perfect, I'm not catching it. And last time I checked, I don't think Eagles or Redskins fans ever missed a guy when he left. But you're right.
Gangbangers with speed turn white men on.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I'll say this before I go, guys. I know you guys got to run.
Yeah, you got to run.
Dallas has a great defense. But the problem with Dallas is their offense. They aren't one of those we got to go 10 plays that aren't explosive. Dak is too conservative of a quarterback. And if they get down a couple of scores, they can't run Zeke. And they have to rely on Dak to throw. And even with Amari Cooper balling out, the guy's still like pulling teeth to get 200 yards out of Dak. And it ain't but like Dak throwing it deep to Amari. It's throwing short passes and Amari making somebody miss. We got to be honest here.
Get ready for Zeke to leave early tonight.
You ain't lying because the Saints going to win by 2 scores tonight. Dallas has a great defense. It's very underrated. how good their defense is. But Dak is not going to be able to keep up, and that defense not going to be able to keep up with the Saints offense.
All right. No doubt. As you
your man Dak can't come. Your man Dak can't come from behind. Pause.
Hey,
that ain't happening.
No Dwight Howard. But anyway, hey, if you guys I love Gus, but if you keep listening to Gus, guys, y'all gonna tell your kids, hey man, it's okay not getting anything for Christmas. It's let's support to the kids in the world. Use that line. Hey, you guys take it easy, man.
All right, man. We talk to you.
All right, bro.
He said they ain't getting no Christmas presents messing with Gus. That's messed up.
Shout out to Gus, aka coin flip. But go ahead though.
All right. All right. So y'all know, everybody out there knows, that the War Room Generals, we're all from Philly. 5 Philly guys, diversified and educated. So the Rocky movie franchise, as corny as it may be, it holds a very special place in our hearts. Everybody knows that Creed 2 is out in theaters now. Came out the day before Thanksgiving. Jimmy and I have both partaken in the film, and we just wanted to, give some thoughts. So if you haven't seen it, I guess and you want to see it, for the next 5 minutes, I'm just gonna call spoiler alert. If you want to call, check back in later, a couple minutes to see if we're still talking about it. But we're calling spoiler alert now because we wanted to rap about it. So Jimmy, what were your immediate thoughts as you came out the theater after seeing Creed?
I actually enjoyed the movie. It was a pretty good movie, which is weird because I think both Creed movies are probably, as movies, better than the Rocky movies. They're directed well. The fight scenes between them, obviously. Well,
probably better than everything after Rocky 2. Because think about back then, the good movies were like the early ones, and then it just started getting a little clownish. But it was still entertaining.
But even the fight scenes in the early Rocky Jones were so unrealistic. Like, these fight scenes and the way the camera work was in the fight scenes was fire. That's the one thing. My overall,
that's just 2018 versus 1976. So.
That's true. That is absolutely true.
78.
One thing that bothers me about what they've done with this Creed franchise, as far as my man Sylvester Stallone has found a way to make the movie about him, even though this is not his movie. Somehow it still is about him. And that
why? Because he wrote some of this one. He didn't write on the first Creed with Coogler, but he wrote with this one because Coogler wasn't there. So he wrote a lot of this.
Yeah, he made himself a way big part of this story. I see, but I mean, I can't knock him. I mean, it's your baby, the whole thing. So, but I'm watching this journey really. I called out what was going to happen in the movie. I looked at my wife. I was like, "Yo, this is happening in this whole movie," and it played out just like I said it was. It's so predictable, but yet it's still like tugged at your emotions. It was a good movie overall. Camera work was fire. And what I thought about, like, after watching the movie and thinking about the old Rockies, to me, like, what I love about Rocky really isn't even Rocky. It's the people, the narrative, the narrative, who they create is the kind of the protagonist. Like, I guess you won't even call it. I guess it depends on who's looking at it, whether they're protagonists. Like, but to me, put it this way: who are the quote unquote bad guys? But the thing is, I don't even think they're bad guys. I don't know how to describe it, but whoever Rocky's opposition is, let's put it that way. Because some will call him the bad guy. I know some people don't call him the bad guy, but because Apollo Creed to me was never a bad guy.
I think bad guys. They wanted to make Mr. T. Clubber Lang was a bad guy. The narrative.
I love
and
Clubber
Drago,
he made the whole
was
movie.
a bad guy. They tried to go U.S. versus Russia.
Now he's the only one I can say that's a clear cut bad guy. Like Clubber Lang was a clown, but he was absolutely entertaining. Hey, woman.
No. I mean. Clubber Lang to black people is not a bad guy at all. I'm talking about the narrative that they tried to bring. They tried to make him a bad guy.
Yeah.
But I might have rooted for Clubber. I might have rooted for Clubber in them fights.
I wanted him to break off a Rocky.
Not Rocky block off, but.
But so to me, when I compare this, when I juxtapose Creed to Rocky, I start to think about where are they going to go from here, right? So because they pulled the the whole Drago thing out of the card pretty fast in terms of it being the second one. But like, what are they going to do to create the new bad guy or opposition for Creed at this point? That's what I'm looking forward to see. If they're going to keep this franchise continuing, which I'm pretty sure they will, because it puts up good numbers.
They have to. They made $55 million over the weekend. They have to.
Yeah.
And Michael B is like new Hollywood star, so they don't have a choice at this point. I thought, Jim, the story, and this was even before seeing the movie, just knowing, seeing the trailers, knowing what the movie was going to be about.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, it's a little bit corny. This dude going to fight the son of the dude that knocked his pop block off, literally. But, credit to some good writing. They made a corny premise into a pretty good story. So I had to give them that. And of course, like you said, the movie was definitely entertaining. You talked about protagonist though, but by the end of the movie, like, you start to feel for the dude Drago a little bit. Like, damn.
Yeah.
Like, his mom's she fair weather than a mother. Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
But I don't want to give too much up for the people out there that didn't see it, but
no, I don't want to give a lot of it away. I just thought that it was an excellent movie. And that is the thing. So, the protagonist in this one, a lot of people say, well, it's Michael B. Jordan. He's the main character. But the protagonist actually could be Drago. So they're going to have to tie him back in, too, because they spent a lot of time, building up his character. And it can't be just for this one movie. You dig what I'm saying? Like,
right.
And
right. So you're saying, like, if they keep this franchise going, you're going to have to hear from this dude again somehow. Maybe they're going to become buddies like Rocky and Creed or something. Something, because they built it up to the point where you start to feel a connection, no Dwight Howard to him. So it's like you have to kind of like bring that back somehow. What was interesting to me is I was laughing like with the original Drago, you knew that he was this new devastating boxer. He was on steroids. He was Russian. That's about it. Like, they didn't get too deep into his life. So you didn't have to bring
Drago hit hard as this young Drago hit hard as a mule. At least the way they moved. He was knocking cats' blocks off. I was like, he was natural. It was so funny because like, the fight, they first rumble when he hit the ball so hard that like in the ball, like my wife even jumped up out of her seat like it was a real fight. I was like, it's a movie. What are doing?
That's how we were too. We were like, it looked like it hurt. Like we were cringing on the body shot.
I was cracking up. I'm like, what is wrong with you? But
and then the sound effects on the body shots. Come on, man.
Yeah.
You heard that
especially in a movie theater when you hear that, it sounds so loud. You're like, somebody's in a car accident. Why would you do this for a living? Why would you do this for a living?
And why would you fight him? You ain't no tapes of his little cockfights? Because he was fighting in little arenas that look like cockfights. But
and shout out to the gym Rocky was training out of, because that's like a real 7-Eleven in Philly. And I was looking at like the location, like, that's 7-Eleven. Why is it a gym now? But so it definitely was interesting. I think Sylvester. Now that you told me that he wrote a part of the movie, a lot of it makes sense to me. I'm like, why is he such a big part? Why is this about him? He's the way to make it about him.
But you know what? Another
but I also
reason.
Want to give.
Okay.
I just want to give shout out to the director, because I was worried when I found out that Coogler wasn't doing this one. I was like, here we go. But he did an amazing job. Like, in the cinematography.
Right, because he and Michael B got that chemistry, so it made you worry.
Yeah, and I hate to like a movie. The cinematography was amazing. And as far as acting goes, Felicia Rashad, it was funny. I was telling my wife, I was like, I said, she's killing everybody in terms of like being an actress in this movie. And then she pointed out to me, she said, yeah, but she's still playing Claire Huxtable, so is she? She was basically playing the same person. I was like, that's true. So, I was like, yeah, there's a little bit of truth in that too, though. But I thought she did a good job too.
Another reason why he may have written himself so deep into the plot of this one is because he's saying he's hanging up the Rocky character. He's saying this is his last hurrah. So whether that's true or not, y'all can maybe expect Rocky to either be dead or, as Mike Tyson says, fade into Bolivian by the next movie.
Yeah, I saw him say that, and that made me wonder. Why didn't you just kill him off in his last one? Like, unless he just came to that conclusion. Because you got to merch him off. You got to give us a sad moment.
He may have just. That's what I'm saying. Like, you got to, like, as much as he may want to just leave, hang it up, pass the torch on to Michael B, and, you know, find a way to just write him off into the sunset in a good way, I think it's impossible to do that. First of all, you know, he's old. He's already, you know, had a bout with cancer. You know, everybody he loves except for, you know, his son and his family are gone. And I think they were going to try to play on that as why he fades into oblivion. But there really is no other way. You know, this is, you know, it's Creed and you're passing the torch, but this is still the Rocky franchise. If you really want to get rid of Rocky, then you're going to have to kill him. and the director said when he cracked open the script, he was actually happy that Sylvester Stallone didn't write Rocky's death into it because he didn't really want that kind of pressure of, you know, directing that. So it's like, it seems like movie makers don't want him to kill himself, but the fans like, yo, it's the only way you're not going to be a part of this franchise. You got to be dead.
Yeah, you got to kill yourself, but he's trying to keep that little door open in case you need a check. My thing, I was sitting there thinking about it though. How many total movies is that now? How many Rockies was it total before we moved to Creed?
It was 6.
Last couple of songs was trash, but
yeah,
so then you got an 8-piece out of this. That's crazy.
You got an 8-piece from 1978 to 2018. He's been Rocky for 40 years, man. 40 years. Like, he's been killing it for 40 years with one franchise. And at least 4 of them Jones classics. Creed, these, you know, some of these might end up being classics, but he already got 4 classics.
So you think that? All right, now I gotta ask you, though. And I know you got the Philly bias, and I think there are 4 classics out of this franchise.
I'm telling you, I do. I think the first 2 were good movies, and then I think as 3 and 4 comes, I think they become more like cult classics, not like classic films. If you get the difference I'm trying to. Like, you have classics, which might not be super great films, but come on, like, you think about Mr. T, and that's probably a lot because, you know, it was our childhood and all that kind of stuff. But Mr. T, Drago, you go back, a lot of those movies are a little corny, but I think it started from classic films to cult classic. I mean, because Rocky won the damn Oscar, for God's sake, for best film, and it really was a good movie. And that one probably had the least amount of action than all of them. Maybe the first 2 had the least.
But
amount
here's
of action.
my question, though.
Then they just turned into.
So if you're saying it's 4 classics out of the 8, which would you name as being classic out of the 8?
I would say the first 4 with the potential for the Creed movies to join them later. I mean, 5 and 6 was garbage no matter how you slice them. But, you know,
I don't know about 2
because
2 he fought Creed at the end of 2, right? Like,
2 is when he first became the heavyweight champ. Remember, she was having the baby. Yeah. She almost died. That was a good movie. And that was when she hit him. She was in the bed, like, he was like, "What do you want me to do?" And she hit him with the wind, and then the music came. Plus 2, I was too young, but a lot of kids from our neighborhood got to run with the ball. Remember, we had like 60 million kids running behind him.
Yeah.
The older kids in my neighborhood come back bragging about it.
I don't know about.
That's me and Burgundy Coke.
2 was borderline for me. I could see to make an argument.
I don't think a lot of people would agree on it, but I think it was. But I see what you know.
Yeah. All right. At least you know you're tripping. At least you know you're tripping. I can't.
I'm telling you though, go back and watch 2, man. 2 was a good
because to me,
I told you how it changes for me.
Like,
it goes from classic.
I have to name
movie
one classic. It might be 4. Because 4 has become part of pop culture, like to the point.
And that's
where
what, but that's why I made that. That's why I distinguished though. I think Mr. T and Drago turned it into a cult classic. Like, I think, you know, I'm along different lines when I say a classic
thing, right?
film and then just a cult classic movie where everybody loves it. You know,
Here's the thing though.
Hulk Hogan in it.
Between also being there's also a difference between being a great film and a classic film. because all classic films aren't great. If you do what I'm saying, like some things are just classics. I mean, they're great, but they could be great and not be classic. You dig what I'm saying? So for me, when I think of Rocky, the first thing I think of is Drago, which is like, I mean, because of the way it was marketed, the way all the quotable. I was literally sitting there watching this one, like they gotta bring if he dies, he died. They gotta I'll bring that back, like.
They say my son will break you. My son will break your boy.
Yo, it's like.
And Drago had more lines in the first 5 minutes of his being in the movie than his whole, appearance. And
Yo, his son in this joint didn't speak till about 2 hours in. But
his son was like him in part 4.
But that's what I'm saying. So when I think of a lot of people, when they think of the franchise of Rocky, the first thing they think of is Drago because it's become part of pop culture. It's it's like when you look at video games, like Drago is a bad guy on like every boxing video game. They always got the big Russian guy. It's like,
I agree with that.
So
that's what I say. In my opinion, I think the movies went downhill. As far as film goes, they just became action boxing movies to me with a lot of pop culture.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Like, the funny
I
thing
think the first two were great.
But after 4, I can't even tell you like which one was which. I know he's like Tarver was in one of them. His son was in one. John.
5 was Tommy Gunn when he rumbled in the street.
Okay.
Rocky Balboa. He didn't even call it Rocky 6. It was called Rocky Balboa because he thought in 2006 that was going to be the last one, and then Coogler and them came to him with the idea of Creed. You can't turn that down. Rocky Balboa was some truck juice. But Sylvester Stallone, he just has a way, especially if you're from. I mean, you don't have to be from Philly, but if you are, it just helps with your biasness. Like he can find a way to still get you hype inside of a garbage ass movie, and you leave that joint like, yo, I'm hype, that was good, and then you think about it like, yo, that was.
Yo, but they gotta stop making that chick trying to sound like she's from Philly saying John. Like she was trying to say yo.
She say John like she's from Alabama.
Like,
even my wife looked at me when she said that. She's like, nah, she ain't got it. I'm like, nah, she don't.
So,
I mean, Randy
tried to use yo the way we use yo in Philly.
Yo, she's really like, she's turned off her whole acting career because of her failed attempt to be a Philly girl. Like she was like, yeah, I just don't like Tessa Thompson, whatever her name is, as an actress. I'm like, damn, why? Because she can't say John. I'm like, you killing him.
And anyone who listens to the War Room understands that yo is a part of Philly vernacular. Just we yo each other. She tried to hit us with a yo too, and it just didn't come off right. So they gotta chill with that. But all over.
The thing is though, she could have practiced more. But you know what? I'm glad that they tried though, because we do criticize a lot of movies when somebody's somewhere regionally and they don't sound nothing like when they get their Denzel on. Because Denzel, no matter where he's from, he sound like he's from New York. I'm like, so at least they tried. They tried. But being from a place, you're like, all right, stop trying. Like, you're not doing it right. But
and he gave my man Tone Trump another, so he can call him Baby Creed again. But overall,
fail.
It was a good movie though. Definitely was a good movie. What up, Baby Creed?
You said Glass Joe can't get a run. That's what he Scotty said, I can only watch 1 and 2. The rest are corny, especially the Tarver one. Yeah. First of all, it's corny because it's Tarver. They couldn't find nobody better than Tarver. Like,
they found Tarver.
And I ain't against Tarver. Tarver had his time, but.
But hold up, though. Hold up. Skyview. 3 and 4 were the best ones, though.
See, but Skyview older than us, though. So, he appreciates the movies, the good movies. As I keep trying to tell Jimmy, man, 1 and 2 were films. 3 and 4 were movies.
Yeah.
1 and 2 were films.
Yeah, that's all.
And thinking back to the villain thing, they tried to make Creed a bad guy. They tried to make him real.
They definitely did.
Yeah, they tried to make
him too charismatic.
So they then when you whoop his ass, then the arrogant black dude becomes your friend because you whooped his ass.
I ain't even gonna point, man. Carl Weathers has a way of just being a positive dude in film. Remember, he was kind of a dirtbag and scumball in Predator.
but you kind of end up liking him. You can't really.
He's very he's very charismatic. Like he's a charismatic cat. So
Remember Action Jackson?
But,
Oh, as soon as I said it,
I'd rather not remember Action Jackson.
Yo, Action Jackson. Who was this chick in Action Jackson? It wasn't Robin Givens, was it?
That name is terrible. Yo, Scott. all I gotta say is Clubber Lang and even Drago.
He said the rest. He said the rest. I can only watch 1 and 2. The rest are corny. Like damn, you don't like none of them. Like it got that. All right. So we talked about Creed way longer than we were supposed to, but we didn't even give too much up. So if you didn't see it, we didn't spoil anything for you. So go see it. Keep this franchise going so we can have maybe by the time we get to like 2025, it'll be Clubber Lang's son. We'd be at Lang 3 by 2030. Because I would love for Clubber Lang to come back into the fold somehow. Like Rocky beat you, and you basically just die because nobody hears from you again after Rocky beat you. With the Creed, retired more men than Social Security. That's a quotable from Rocky 4.
He does.
No doubt. All right, so quick stat of the week before we move on to talk some grind topics and some hoops. This is actually about hoops. James Harden and Eric Gordon the other night against the Washington Wizards combined for the second most points of all time for a starting backcourt since starts were recorded. Harden had 54. Eric Gordon had 36 for a total of 90 points against the Wizards. Number one on that list is Kobe Bryant and Smush Parker at 94 points, even though Kobe Bryant had 81 of them.
That is
Kobe had 81 of the points, but Smush will forever go down in history as part of the highest scoring backcourt in NBA history. And third was the 83 Pistons with Isaiah Thomas. And no, not Joe Dumars, because Joe couldn't score like that. Isaiah had 47 and John Long had 41 for a grand total of 88. So those are the three highest highest recorded scoring games for a starting backcourt. But shout out to Smush Parker, man, who's on this list.
Yo, John Long.
He did his part, man. Now we got $370 because Smush wants to do his part. Yo, that's crazy. All right, so shout out to Smush, man. Out of all of that,
and they lost.
My shout out goes to Smush. All right, so before we get into some grind topics, we're going to have to fly through those because I want to get to these hoop topics, man. We got to talk about Jimmy Buckets, Amanda White being what he is, and a few other things. But before we do that, y'all know the drill. Y'all can check out our website, warroomsports.com. But if you want to call in and speak with us about any of today's topics, and we got a couple calls waiting. We see y'all. Just hold tight. We got to get some of this rundown going before we get back to the phone lines. But if you want to call in and speak with us, that number is 323-410-0012. Just press 1 when prompted. But if you're already listening from your telephone, just press 1 if you want to talk. Let's get it. Where'd Jimmy go? Why are you on the ground?
Yeah, my bad. No, I'm here, good bro. I was sitting there running my mouth, not realizing that I was
Jimmy went back to watch Rocky too. You went back to watch Rocky too. Next week, you're like, all right, Dave, I see what you're talking
about. Yo, while you were on the grind, is brought to you by Sports the Book. If you're tired of reading the same old sports books, spit and go get Sports the Book. You can go to sportsthebook.com or warroomsports.com. It's a great book. And, you know, if you look at when the book was written and some of the things in it, you're going to be shocked about how great I am. Anyway, do not miss the movement. Sportsthebook.com or warroomsports.com. But it's time to talk about what happened while you were on the grind.
And I ain't going to front, Jimmy. Rocky 2 is probably the one I've watched the least in my life. Not counting Rocky Balboa.
Yeah.
Like twice. But
you got
original.
You got that revisionist history. You go watch it back. You gonna come back next week like, yo, that jump wasn't that good. Anyway,
it's one of those things where you can give it his props, even though like you don't have the cult classic type dudes in it, make you want to keep going back. But it was great.
Yeah.
I ain't punchy.
Let's talk about hashtag Florida man. Florida State fan posted a pic of head coach Willie Taggart being lynched. There's a lot of that going on in terms of people trying to bring the lynch game back in 2018. And they're going to get hands and feet put upon them.
Yeah. So, the Seminoles lost 41-14 to Florida on Saturday. So this dude, it was an FSU fan group on Facebook. He showed an image of the dude hanging from a tree. Underneath it read, "Believe in something, even if it means sacrificing your rep." And y'all know that was a play on Colin Kaepernick's Nike campaign. The poster, of course, he got criticized for the meme. They said he responded, "I'm dead effing serious. This is how far I'm willing to go to get rid of this clown." So he doubled down on it when, people bashed him and gave him a chance to say, "All right, my bad." He doubled down on it. So
you gotta respect his level of hatred and white supremacy, though. Gotta respect. Gotta respect it.
As they do in 2018, though, B, I heard that this dude ended up losing his job over this whole thing. And you know what it is? It's not really because they don't condone it, but they just can't. Business is business, and you just can't have your business on the hook for somebody speaking their mind on a social media platform. So whether they agree with them or not, they can't have they can't have them a negative. You can't have him having a negative effect on their business. I'm sorry, I started reading something in the middle of my damn sentence.
Man, what's wrong with you?
That is cool.
Yeah, like he
my attention span trash.
Yeah, he drawing, man. I mean, at the end of the day, you got the freedom to say what you want to, but you got to take whatever energy come back based upon what you say. I mean, that's just the law of energy, dog. So keep that in mind. We don't fold, we don't bend, we don't break. It's been true. My fault.
Trey Wayne!
He just got us indicted. Got us indicted, man.
But anyway, moving.
That.
Yo, they gonna put B. Austin up in there too. Like, look, you part of it too. Anyway, listen. Kent State is the first school in history. And first of all, by the way, before I start this, if my brother Hank is listening right now, I'm going to start this off by saying not right now, Hank. But Kent State
glad he ain't co-hosting
is the
tonight.
first school. Thank God Hank's not co-hosting. But Kent State is the first school in history to sign a player with autism to play a D1 sport. So salute to Kent State for that.
Salute to Kent State. Shout out to Kalen Bennett. He's a 6'10" center. He lives in Little Rock, Arkansas. So he's joining Kent State as a freshman in 2019-2020 freshman class, man. Shout out to him. I saw an interview with him, and even he admits. I mean, you could tell that he had a rough go of it.
I'd like to explain something. I ain't punchy. I got what you call a relaxed brain, but I ain't punchy. It's just.
Yeah.
Not right now. Whichever one of y'all did that, I have no idea who did that, but y'all ain't ish.
I was talking.
Here's the crazy part. I saw the boy speak, and the boy actually seems to have more sense than half of the NFL players I watch speak on a weekly basis. So, I'm rooting for the boy. Yo, and I'm dead serious.
No, but he said
I'm rooting for him too.
He says for him, he doesn't want it to just be. I mean, this is a really mature thing to say. He said he doesn't want it to just be about basketball. He wants to leave his mark and help other autistic children and stuff like that. So, shout out to him for his maturity, and I hope it all works out, man. He's 6'10".
Yeah,
I'm really interested in seeing him play. I don't know if Kent State gonna make it to the tube, so we're gonna have to dig and find some Kent State games. Do they play the Monstars?
I'm really rooting for
Do they play the Sons of the Monstars? Because that'll get you on TV.
Because the boy seems to have his stuff together. I mean, based upon the one interview, Lord, I can't tell. I don't know the boy, but I'm actually rooting for this dude, man. So salute to him. Keeping it hoops though. Let's talk about our man Mute. You know what I'm saying? AKA Kawhi Leonard, right? Because this is such a Kawhi thing. Shout out to Dev. Shout out to Dev for beating me to it because I had to be Dev because I was on my way. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? But anyway.
Be awesome on the pulse tonight.
Yo. Yeah. All I'm saying is this is such a quiet thing to do. My man Kawhi Leonard left Brand Jordan to sign a deal with New Balance. And before y'all start that joke, before y'all start y'all jokes, I gotta let y'all know that, to be completely honest, pound for pound, New Balance probably is my favorite sneak. Although
Jimmy,
I like
you the only athlete. Jimmy is the only athlete I know signed at New Balance besides Kawhi.
No, look,
shout out to James Worthy.
Y'all know, for me at this point, Asics, New Balance, hell, even Brooks. Those shoes are like the only shoes that I could really wear and be comfortable. I mean, y'all heard on the podiatrist tell me that's what I need to be wearing because of plantar fasciitis. So on the real, I'm laughing because Kawhi, is doing Kawhi things, but low key, I've been waiting for Asics, New Balance, or somebody like that to make basketball shoes for a minute now. I'm like, the only real way I can get back on the court and be comfortable is in a pair of Asics or a pair of New Balance. So I'm gonna get me some new ones.
Here's the crazy thing, right? Here's the crazy thing, right? So first off, shout to our brother PJ. Me and PJ used to get on the bus when we was young boys and take exotic trips to try to find a color wave of New Balance that nobody had, and we would end up in Lord knows where on public transportation. But I've always been a fan of New Balance.
All you had to do was go to DC.
That's what I was about to say to Jim. Like when I first came to DC and saw what they wore. No, but when I first came to DC and saw how they, the city must have stock in New Balance, you and PJ was the first people I thought about. Well, PJ was there with me when I first got there, but I thought about how y'all used to have the exotic New Balance, even though here when you first, it wasn't really exotic. Like DC dudes wore gray New Balance. Like everybody wore the same color.
Yeah, exactly. They wore the.
But I was thinking nobody. I didn't know anybody besides y'all that even wore New Balance.
We used to go to this spot called Dimmers. Dimmers was out in Jenkintown somewhere.
In the county. Out in Glenside.
Yeah, in the county somewhere. In the county, they had these exotic colors. But anyway, to make a long story short, it was never about the basketball.
Have to check Dimmers if
right? So the only I wonder if they are open. But the only reason I knew that New Balance made a basketball sneaker, they had one big-time player back in the early 80s. They signed James Worthy, and he had his own New Balance jump. But after that, they kind of fell out of the basketball game. So
have they ever had
so much money?
Shoes?
I don't remember Asics ever being.
I know they had Brooks.
I mean, not
many
to my
Wilkins
knowledge.
wore Brooks for a minute, but I don't know if they.
It's crazy because
people think Brooks Bobo. Brooks be costing like $150. Some running shoes.
Basketball is so associated with sneaks that when you name a brand, the first thing I think of is who wore them. That's it's kind of weird, but hoops is literally part of basketball culture. So
Reebok
with that being said, I remember the Worthy. I actually have a pair of Worthies too. I just never wore them that much, so I probably still could wear. But anyway, to make a long story short, they really got out of that game. But I guess there's so much money in in that. Now everybody trying to get back. You see Puma trying to make a move to get back in that game. Because just a small piece of market share, you can make billions and billions of money, which is crazy. So everybody's trying to get back in a hoops game. Now you got Puma signing athletes, you got New Balance signing athletes. So I think overall it's a good thing because you're going to have more cats getting money. You see New Balance try the same with the young boy to skip college and take the internship. Now they got they got themselves a full flight star, but now the pressure is on because when you sign a star and you're not in the game, everybody is going to be looking to either clown or praise whatever the first thing you drop is.
Why
I remember
him,
when Steph dropped.
Social media is clowning the hell out of this.
But they are because New Balance, outside of the fly tracksuit they make, they also make what we call child molester ones. Them old Johns with the straps and those shoestrings that look like
boys who stand around playgrounds.
They look like. Yeah, the boys that try to get deadly. They try to get deadly in the bike shop. Them type boys.
So you to drive vans with velvet.
Yeah, they drive 18 vans in 2018. But
they make that Sandusky. They make that Sandusky too.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be a lot of pressure on them because I remember when the Stephs first dropped and Under Armour was trying to get in the game. Them first Stephs got clowned so bad. They worked at it, and but there's pressure on you, so it's going to come down to the designer. Because even when we got first time on Reebok, and Reebok was in the game already, but people was like putting pressure on them because everybody wants to go to Nike, and AI took another route. But the AI
and then you're like
classic.
You're mad when your favorite player goes somewhere that you don't approve of. Then the pressure's really on. Like, I don't even wear y'all shoes.
Exactly.
The hell AI with them for? Like, okay, that's cool, Reebok. Let's do that. But
Reebok came, but then Reebok also didn't come through with the Shaq. So I mean, like,
it's hard to make a shoe for a center, man. When you wear a size 21, it's hard to make that look cool.
I remember when Grandmama Larry Johnson, the crossdresser, when he first was in the league and he was fired. And he signed Converse, and the first Converse they was fired.
Damn,
but
man,
at the time, everybody was like, "Yo, it's pretty much like if you don't." It's pretty much like either sign with Nike or the pressure's on. Nike's an easy way out.
It is.
Adidas is okay. You can make it.
Okay, Adidas is on the, but not when I'm talking about hoops, because even Adidas got killed for that first Hardens they came out with that looked like socks.
That was because Harden was sitting down with Kanye and Pharrell. Because outside of actually playing basketball, James Harden doesn't really want to be known as a basketball player. He wants to be known as a androgynous, beard having.
No,
nincompoop type jeans dude.
When we talk about hoops, though, it's like
I've always thought
Nike, right?
Adidas hoop shoes were more comfortable than stylish. They used to make as Kobe shoes, but they felt like you were walking on clouds. And I only know that because I ain't gonna hold them. Try them on, walk around in them for 5 minutes, and then be like, "Nah, I'm not buying them because I've never bought a pair." But they did feel good.
I ain't gonna hold you though. I know everybody loves Nike, but when I looked at it the other day, Dev sent out a link about like the top basketball teams of all time. A lot of cats wear Nikes that are in the league, but a lot of them is trash. The one person whose Nikes is absolutely fire, and I didn't recognize how fire each one of his releases was, is Barry. Barry Irvin, his jaunts is crazy. I was like, yo, why did I know Barry was putting out fire like that?
Every year. Yeah, blood sneaks.
Why ain't nobody dropping consistent fire like that? I don't know who designs the Byrees, because I know in that culture, the designers are probably like celebrities. But whoever designs the Byrees is doing the best job to me at night. I know, Phil, don't kill me if you're listening. But from my perspective, not being a non-sneakerhead looking at it. But so I want to see like how New Balance delivers on this. I know B. Austin wanted to get his jokes off because you be clowning New Balance, but But you A6 boy, so what you talking about?
Yeah, he's a color. He don't wear them for bad feet. He just wear colorful Asics. Look like somebody splashed paint on them, like different colors.
Yeah, so I know he can't be. But you gotta, But I'm looking forward to it though, dog. I ain't gonna hold you. New Balance is my favorite shoe. Outside of the color wave joint, there's nothing comfortable. There's nothing more comfortable.
They didn't even. They haven't reported the terms of the deal, but. Originally he was only making like $500,000 a year with Jordan Brand because nobody knew Kawhi Leonard was going to be what he is. So they were close to completing a 4-year deal worth more than $20 million. So he's the type of dude where it might not be about the money because I really can't see New Balance paying him more than that, but maybe they did. So I'm real curious to see what New Balance is investing in this process.
New Balance.
No, they got bread there.
Own a bunch.
No, I'm not saying
own a bunch of other
brands.
Bread.
I'm just saying to not.
And they got so much bread.
Yeah, I'm just saying to not be in a certain market. Like, how much are you willing to invest to get that popping? Especially with a dude. Especially with a non-charismatic dude like him. Like, he's not really brand ambassador type. You know what I mean?
But New Balance got so much bread. New Balance got so much bread. They don't even have to go public. Like, New Balance is a private company, and they sustain being private because they make that much bread, and they got like contracts with certain government agencies.
They're actually top. I know Jimmy don't care, so this is more for our listeners that are into FUTBOL, but they're like the top 5. They're like a top 5 soccer brand. So they sponsored. They're official for Liverpool. They're official for a couple. Yeah, they're official for a couple teams in La Liga and the Bundesliga. So like they have a nice soccer presence, you know, that goes unnoticed in the U.S. because the U.S. MLS teams don't bang with New Balance, but the European teams do.
All right, let's move on.
I didn't know that either. I learned something new.
La Liga.
But anyway, with all that being said, man, the pressure is on for them to deliver something for Kawhi because everybody's going to be looking for it to clown it. But the good thing about that is if you deliver, I've seen cats be like, oh, they're all right. Like, you know what I'm saying, when somebody comes through and delivers. But that was such a Kawhi thing to do that it was just funny that it was him that was willing to take that chance. Because I'm pretty sure there's a bunch of other cats too.
He don't care, like, if them Jones don't sell, because he's still going to get his check. He's going to be laughing all the way to the
Get that one off.
That's Kawhi walking in Chase. But what's crazy with that is that, like, it's kind of, when I think about it, which is funny to me is, they were floating checks in front of people's face. Like, they gave the one young boy who wasn't even, like, the top 5 recruit. They did chance on him and gave him a nice $1 million year check. So they was throwing money out there, and I wonder how many times turned it down. They gave him an B. Austin. I know you know about that story. But New Balance gave this year who was supposed to be like he was supposed to go to Syracuse this year. New Balance gave him $1 million internship for 1 year. So instead of him going to play to Syracuse, he's working as an internship within their sneaker business, and is going to be in the NBA draft next year.
And they're going to let him, they probably got a gym. They're going to let him work out at lunchtime.
Fire!
Yeah. So what I'm saying is they're throwing money around, but you guys know there had to be like a big-name athlete who probably like turned it down just because they were New Balance. And probably took less money to be with Nike. You know there was.
So they had to
like
find
Kawhi
a dude. They had to find a Kawhi.
That's what I'm saying. Kawhi is like a perfect storm because he don't care. Go ahead, give me the check. Anyway, man, salute to Kawhi, man. I'm looking forward to
totally unrelated, but while we on the sneaker game, while we on the sneaker game and we brought up fashion, I don't know if you guys spend any time or some of our listeners have spent some time looking at the Rico Hines UCLA runs. And it's a closed door pro, summer league, not even a summer league. It's just they started coming in teams. So the Thunder got together, not sanctioned by the organization, but they just kind of brought their starting 5 to run in this thing. And then the Raptors did the same. And then the sick Ben Simmons was out. So when you watch these cats, like their dress code, they look like they are Fonda backup dancers, particularly Russell Westbrook and James Harden. Like, he wears coochie cutter shorts with tights and weird socks, and their the shoe game is different. Even it's like I can't really explain what they're doing. So I guess it's me being the old man, get off my lawn. But I didn't think it was cool to bring like leotards and gymnastics to aerobics exercise.
All I'm saying is, man, New Balance got to come through so me and Dev can get on the court. With that being said, man, I got to talk about this last story before we move forward in our show. And I know we're way behind, but this story has to be talked about, man. So there was an argument during Thanksgiving. And basically it was about NFL players kneeling and arguing got out of hand in the Pop. Yeah, North Carolina, and Pop pulled out the with the stiffy and actually shot his son with a shotgun. Because his son was about players kneeling. So they was going back and forth about the NFL players kneeling. So Kaepernick made a father actually put some lead in the son.
Put the lead to him. I don't know. The story didn't get into who was on what side of the coin. It was the two brothers who were arguing about it, which led to a physical confrontation between them. They started rumbling. The Pop couldn't control the son that he didn't agree with, so he, like Jimmy said, he went and got the shotty. He claims he didn't shoot on purpose. He said after they went out on the porch and the dude threw around some porch furniture, he threw a water bottle that hit the dad, and he claims when the water bottle hit him, he squeezed the trigger by mistake and shot the boy. That is such a crock of bull.
Blicky with the 50.
My man hit me with the Dasani, and it made my hand squeeze the trigger of a shotgun. And I happened to have it pointing in his direction when I did it. FOH, Pops. You're going to jail. But, yo, that's how divisive the things in our country are. I mean, I'm assuming the Pop was against it, even though, you know, he had like a Latino name, but, you know, they got Latino moms too. So he probably was defending the flag and the country and all the nonsense that people try to make Colin Kaepernick's, protesting.
A lot of Latinos try and rock with the other folks to distance themselves.
Latin coon.
Yo, not Kings, but Emma. Listen, man.
Treyway.
Yo, and that.
It's my fault. But yo, with all that being said, man, Dev, give some birthday shout outs so we can move our show.
All right, quick birthday shout outs before we get into some hoop talk. Shout out to Russell Wilson. Yo, if y'all looking at the War Room Sports Game Time group, I posted, I don't know where the dude Future was, but go look and see what he had on. Shout out to Future when you talk about Russell
he
Wilson.
looked like one of the Huxtables.
Yo, they said he looked like Denise Cosby. He out here dressed like Denise Cosby from the Huxtables. I said Denise Cosby. Denise from the Cosby Show. Russell Wilson turns 30. Shout out to him. Shannon Brown turns 33. Shannon Brown got some rings. Jamal Mashburn used to be one of my favorite college players and in his early NBA career before he stopped playing ball and just started buying pizza shops. He turns 46. Mariano Rivera enters the Sandman. He turns 49. Interesting. We've known before. I think we've done this exact day before in our 9 years of doing this. But Mariano Rivera and Pedro Martinez have the same birthday 1 year apart. Pedro turns 50. Shout out to him. D. Brown, who we mentioned earlier, Reebok pumps in the house. He turns 50. And Vin Scully is 91 years old. So shout out, War Room salute to all of these folks on their birthdays.
Yo.
You know.
Remember Pedro was like, dig up Babe Ruth so I could throw the ball at him too?
Yo, Pedro's special boy.
Yay!
All right, shout out to them.
Dig up the Bambino, I throw it in too.
Oh, and before we get into Hoop Talk, again, y'all can check out our website at worldwinsports.com if you want to call in and speak with us about some hoops topics. Down to Digital Extreme Tech Hotline, 323-410-0012. Press 1 when prompted, but if you're already listening from your phone, just press 1 if you want to talk. We see you. We're going to get to your phone call in just a minute. After we start this Hoop Talk, we get to you, brother.
Yo. KT Max said we got it wrong that Pedro Martinez is 47. I don't one way or another.
Well, how old is Danny Almonte? You know they don't be honest about their ages. Who the hell knows when his real birthday is and how old he is?
Yo,
show me your birth certificate.
No comment, yo. No comment.
Danny Almonte was striking people out in the Little League World Series when he was like 26 years old.
Yo.
So I have no clue how old he was.
He was dominating.
I got him at 49.
Yo, he was throwing heaters. Anyway, listen, it's time to talk basketball, man, and this is brought to you by Digital Extreme Technologies. Do you or your business need a custom website? Well, for dynamic, professional, and most of all, affordable custom website solutions, you need Digital Extreme Technologies. Listen, if you have a business and you don't have a website for your business and you're really not in business, you're average. Because anytime somebody wants to do business with you, the first thing I'm going to do is look up your website. And if you got a website, I don't care if you're a strumpet. And for those who don't know what strumpet is, look up the word. But if you're a strumpet, you need a website.
If you don't have a website, you just got a hobby.
Yo, so what you got to do is visit digitalextremetech.com or call 267-205-4203. Remember, even if you're a strumpet, go to digitalextremetech.com or 267-205-4203. Remember, tell them that you heard about it here in the war, and you will get a discount. But it's time to talk about this thing of ours.
Oh, yeah. Tell them we sent you get a discount and then send you to a Korean massage shop.
Yo, let's start with the players of the week. Tobias Harris from the Clippers and Giannis Antetokounmpo, a Greek freak. Shout out to Tobias Harris. The Clippers are like low-key having a good season. I was looking the other day, like, you know, it's funny how you can watch hoops every week and not realize that some of these teams like Detroit and the Clippers are like under the radar having good seasons. So shout out to both of those squads. Shout out to Giannis is the best player in basketball. Let
me tell you what they did this week real quick. Giannis and the Bucks went 3-1 last week. He averaged 32.8 points, 14 rebounds, 6.5 assists, and 2 steals while shooting 63.6% from the field. Yo, come on, man. MVP this.
How did you shoot 63.3%?
I mean, it's over 4 games, but he was on fire on somebody's ass. Tobias, who led the Clippers to a 3-1 week, his averages were 24.8 points, 8.8 rebounds, 1.8 assists, while shooting. Yo, I mean, Kevin Durant and like Steph, cats like this do this for a season, but he did a 50-40-90 for the week, 56.5% field goal percentage, 45.5 from 3-point line, and 91.7 from the free throw line for the week. Shout out to him. This is the second time in his career that he's won Player of the Week. For Giannis, this is the second time this season that he's won it. But yeah, shout out to the 50-40-90 over a 4-game span, and cats like Steph and them be doing it for the whole season.
Yo, Giannis is the best player in basketball, and I don't care what anybody say. Fight, but the ball is ridiculous, man. Yo, I mean, it is what it is, man. Like, I'm ready to
Brian
say
ain't gonna like
listen, man. Brian is fighting ghosts right now. So, like, I just put him somewhere else. Brian out here fighting ghosts. He's not even competing against these jokers right now. He's competing against ghosts. But anyway, man, it's been a big story. It's been a story that you know, this is true. You know, there's different worlds out there, right? So you got, like, I go on Twitter for different reasons, right? To hear sports, to see ratchet memes, to get inspired, to see my Black Power talk, to see what the magazine says. So I use Twitter for a lot of reasons. There's one story that's like across all the different reasons I'm on Twitter this week. Everybody's been talking all the boxes for you, man. Yo, your man has went across every Twitter group, every Twitter, everything. Your man Dwight Howard broke Twitter, and not for really much a good reason. So, man, listen, he has been exposed. Some would say, but some was just a rumor. We don't know. But there's a man out there that said Dwight is his ex-boyfriend, and the reason that he was coming forward, a lot of people said that it was a transgender person, but it wasn't. Just a man who wears long hair.
Yeah, it's a man with a bun.
He said that the reason he's coming forward is because Dwight Howard's pastor, he's kind of weird, threatened to kill him if he didn't sign an NDA, which he wasn't willing to sign. And the reason he stopped messing with Dwight is because the reason he stopped messing with Dwight is because he found out Dwight was cheating on him. And the woman just said Dwight was cheating on a woman. Dwight was going to sex parties with other,
having unprotected
men.
Sex at sex parties.
And having unprotected sex. So this man has, some receipts, as they say on me and Dev's favorite reality shows, text messages, actually has a voice conversation with someone who sounds like Dwight. Yeah, and put all that out there. Dwight is yet to say anything, but he's been getting cooked. And the crazy part
that's
to me
the thing.
is, listen,
brother.
The crazy part to me isn't about his sexuality. Listen, like what you want to like, as long as it's legal, like what you want to like. But to me, when you start to threaten somebody's life, like, you bugging now, cuz.
Just be who you are,
like,
instead of threatening other people.
Yeah, be who you are. You're far in the closet that you're willing to kill somebody. To,
not like we didn't know.
Keep that in
anyway.
there. We already suspected anyway, Hall.
It's like we've been called you apples and bananas. I mean, come on, man. The thing, like, for the people that were defending him, like, a lot of people were like, well, this person went on for false allegations. This is a catfish, blah, blah, blah. Because of the, they're saying it didn't even sound like him. It sounded like him to me, but what kind of did it for me was, even with the stuff that the dude was saying on the telephone conversation, it wasn't like Dwight Howard or this person that was alleged to be Dwight Howard just came out and said some blatant things that made you say, oh, snap. It wasn't even like that. It was kind of like he was trying to talk around things because he knew he was on the phone.
Yep.
Probably not believing that it would ever come out, but you just grow up knowing not to say everything you need to say over a telephone conversation. Maybe it's because we watch too many gangster movies, but that's just cold. You know what I'm saying? So it sounded like he was trying to speak around everything, but it were certain things that he wasn't outright denying. He was just trying to speak around them that made me think like, this might be true. Dude said he was 6'10", but he he was a bottom dude or something like that. What's ironic about all of this, this is definitely going to come off as a joke, but Dwight Howard has been missing games since the beginning of this season because of an ass injury. He's had gluteal soreness or something like that, and he's away from the team down seeing the special. I'm trying to say this in front of B. Austin without laughing, but it's hard.
I know.
No, it ain't hard.
I'm trying to say it seriously. But, he's been out from Wizards because of his butt hurting, man. And that just makes all of this that much worse, man.
I was like, how are we going to talk about this story with B. Austin not going on? I was like, once he found out, once B. Austin finds out that Dwight out here getting his cheeks bust, I know that he's going to My biggest problem with this again, if you like to get your cheeks bust, that's on you. Like, if you like to give up your man hymen, that's on you.
You are gay.
Don't threaten that. That's not me, by the way. Don't threaten anybody's life because of it.
First of all, I wouldn't want him on my team, and second of all, if he was on my team, I would, really distance myself from him because I don't think that's right, and I don't think that he should be in a locker room.
Back at.
B. Austin, whatever deal you just brought to the table this afternoon, we probably just lost.
You just lost. But,
I didn't know. The locker room in Washington is in disarray. Bum chief.
Do what you want to do, but if it is true, like we talked about a minute ago, that you're threatening somebody's life, so this won't come out. It's like, you're really willing to threaten somebody's life rather than live your truth. Like, something's wrong with him. You know what I'm saying? But hey, if it's that serious that you got to threaten somebody's life, then don't do it. Then, if it's that serious for you, then don't do it. But it's too late now. It's already been done. Let's go to the phone line real quick because let's talk to Rob about this because he posted something on our page earlier this week that said Dwight Howard WTF, and I kind of took, I'm not going to say offense, but I kind of, I was taken aback by that because it's the same dude that every time there's a joke about EJ, he got something to say. So, Rob, what's your issue with Dwight Howard, but you defend EJ every time somebody got a joke about it?
When they both
hold on.
in relationship.
First of all, We got a game against Washington. Yo, play that track, man. Play that track.
I'm gonna play that track. I'm gonna get that track for you. But you know, what's up with your Dwight Howard slander? But you know, you cool with the ball.
cool with the ball. Listen. Dwight Howard. The one thing I have to say is, first of all, I was just shocked, and I was just like, "Whoa, like what is going on?" However, I think
I don't understand why he's shocked. I mean, we saw him grab some dude's balls.
Yo, you saw him,
like,
he sat on the bench in Houston and gave his teammate a hand job.
It's like we
on the bench.
Like that's for you, Washington professional football team.
You know.
All right, but yeah, like, what were you shocked about? Like, I wasn't shocked. I was just like, damn, how he gonna explain this away because it's out there.
I'm gonna say this one quote, and I'm gonna move on. But see what bothers me is that trans women want to be considered women until they have someone to blast upon the spot. Then you use your sexuality to embarrass someone and to do them exactly what you don't want done to yourself. If y'all was in a relationship, why are you recording every conversation if you're waiting for something to pop off so you could blast him? And so I think this incident is really continually not taking the transgender community seriously, even though, you know, nobody really kind of should take it seriously. I got LGBT.
This person's not a transgender though, right? This is a dude. He just wears long hair. Wait. You can't be sitting here talking about respect for the community if you're just gonna dismiss things. He's not a transgender. You gotta get that straight. You can be calling somebody a transgender. It's not a transgender.
He's a straight man.
He's a man. Dude that wears long hair.
He wants to be a man. I mean, it's a chameleon. Some people are respecting transracial. I could probably be a Dominican if I want to. You know what I'm saying? People saying transracial, but the problem.
But you keep talking about trans. This person isn't a trans. This is a grown ass man named Barry.
Check out the Instagram. Bare-chested photos and all. He ain't got no boobs. He trying to have
this
boobs.
is a grown, musty man.
Birdcage.
Grown-ass, musty-ass man.
All I gotta say is whatever goes on in their bedroom is their business. You know, that's all I gotta say. It's not. I don't care about that.
No, I agree with you on that, but he's trying to murk the boy.
You're gonna kill him if he talks.
Well, he has to learn. I mean, Dwight Howard or dudes have to learn, like, in the days of this, and when it comes to internet age and stuff like that, dudes have to be more responsible of who they go with. You know, on a shady low, I was a choir boy. If everybody knows me, knows that I was in church and stuff like that. Wherever I had young tender, Time out. Let me finish.
All right, hurry up, bro. We gotta go.
Let me finish. Whenever I had a little tender, like Shorty would bring that up, like, oh, you wasn't talking about Jesus right now, a minute ago, or stuff like that. I'd be like, yo, like, what the, like, really?
Don't even be saying that after you beat.
Well, after they scream hallelujah, but my point is, man, like,
after he screams hallelujah,
you got something to say on there? I never said that. After they scream hallelujah. I said after they scream hallelujah.
Choir director hit.
What's choir director?
Man, shout out to Skyview. Said Isaiah Thomas used to endorse ASIC gels. I gotta go get me some Isaiah Thomases. The real Isaiah.
But let's talk about sports. Let's talk about sports. Now,
Isaiah also
gotta be quick, man. We only got a minute. Who cares
about Isaiah? Man, why don't you talk about Serena Williams? You like Serena Williams, B. Austin. Talk about her non-twerking ass. Talk about how she got all that jelly but no toast. Come on, man. Talk about her.
Go ahead. What you want? Rob, you running out of time, dude.
Huh?
You down to like 30 seconds, man. You talking nonsense. What do you want to talk about?
Okay. Yo, all I gotta say is, hopefully the Lakers get it together. But I don't really want to trade for Bradley Beal. I should just let these people develop and ride out. The Eagles. Eli Manning is one of the overrated quarterbacks I've ever seen in my life. I don't understand why he didn't put 400 on us. He seems like, he's playing with Down syndrome. I really think he's the first handicapped quarterback ever. You know what I'm saying? They should put a class. He gets perfect parking.
Yo.
Now you're killing the people with Down syndrome?
Who rates Eli high, though? You say, I used to say people are overrated when nobody ever rates Eli as being one of the best.
Yeah,
I've never heard
been
Eli mentioned as being one of the best.
I'm talking to the Giants fans. I'm talking to the Giants.
Eli got 2 rings. Once you get 2 rings, then it don't matter what you do after that point.
Would you pick Peyton Manning over Eli, Jimmy? Even though you hate Peyton, would you pick him?
I think it's Peyton.
Yo, boy got 2 rings, man. It's like when you smash a chick twice. No matter what happens after that, you can always say, "Yo, but I beat twice now."
That's true. 2.5. Peace.
Hey, Rob, man, we holler at you next week, man. Thanks for your call, man. We appreciate it. We got to go, though, because we about to be out of here. So, salute. Hope your Lakers get it together, man. They don't get Bradley Beal, whatever you called him. All right. You said that like it was more than one Bradley. What's up, man? What we got, man?
Yo, you got to admit, though, twice makes a difference. Because the first time could just be like, it just happened. But once she lets you go again, then there's nothing you can say at that point. Anyway, let's say, before we get out of here, man, we got to talk about B. Austin's homie, Michael Jeffrey Jordan. My man went out to his hometown and handed out meals to people still suffering from Hurricane Florence. He donated 50 pair of Jordans to the Boys and Girls Club. So just I feel like I got to represent for Court Bennett right here. Why you only get 50 pairs, though, cuz? No, I'm joking. You can't.
Court Bennett loves Michael Jordan, and he loves Kobe Bryant.
So shout out to my homie Court. Shout out to Young Said, because B. Austin, we all know that Said is the hoop earring dude in Michael Jordan, but we have King Said, the newest version of Said, which is Jimmy Butler. Because if you watch him, Jimmy bringing hoop earrings back. So he has another game winner in the Sixers game. Yeah.
Yo,
definitely.
It was the exact same shot, man. It was like them videos where they juxtaposed Michael Jordan, his moves, and they have Kobe doing the same move in the same spot. Jimmy Butler did the same move in the same spot, hit the same damn shot. This is what the Sixers needed, I think, because we're in the era where at the end of these games, nobody cares about sets anymore. We talked about this for years. It's hero ball time. And the Sixers really never had anybody on the perimeter they could play hero ball with late in the game. Because,
that's kind of how they lost to Boston last year.
Didn't really want to go
to
the foul line.
They had nobody. The Sixers had nobody.
Yeah, nobody wanted to take that shot versus Boston.
Yo, they had nobody that could create their own shot in situation. So
the
this
dude
is
that could create
Markel was supposed
don't
to be
want
that
to go
guy.
to the
He's
foul
young
line.
Hitch though. Yeah, because he's young Hitch on the foul line, so he's scared to.
Young Hitch.
And Ben
Neither
scared
one of
to
them
go to the
niggas
foul
gonna
line
go to the
too.
line.
So salute to him.
You could go to Joel Embiid late in the game and he can get busy, but you need that in today's NBA. You need that face-up guy on the perimeter, not just facing up on the block. And it gets a little shaky when Joel gets the ball too far away from the basket to be a guard. He can do it, but that's not really where I want to have bread butter.
He can do it, Dev. He can do it early in the game. You don't want him doing that in the fourth quarter or when it's nut cutting time.
I don't want him doing it at all.
All I want to say is
it's the new earth.
I want to send a shout out to Kobe Bryant, because Kobe Bryant revolutionized basketball in the finals against the Celtics when he decided he wasn't going to stick Rondo and just gave Rondo all the space in the world to shoot a jump shot. Because when that happened, I was like, I'll never see this again. But, they're doing it to Ben Simmons, and Ben Simmons might be more egregious than what Kobe did to Rondo. And Ben's not even being aggressive. I mean, he goes in spurts. It depends upon how his relationship is playing out.
It depends on what him and Kendall doing, man. Because some nights you be like, damn, he attacking. Like, this is the Ben that I want to see.
And then some nights, and y'all think that we're joking, but I really think there's something to that. Because when he was, like, beefing with her, and, like, at least according to the Shade Room and TMZ, he was. And yes, I'm Chatty Patty. I keep up on my gossip for those, trying to question me. I do keep up to the gossip. When he was going through his little beef with her, it was definitely showing on the court where he just looked disinterested. He was thinking about it. So we need to hear.
He would be closer to his boo after the game.
So you're thinking about them dashing arms.
I'm telling you, he out after his contract is up. He out. He going out.
You think he's going to the West Coast to be close to them?
Yeah, I mean, he like he like famous chicks, so he out.
Yo, they must got magic between their legs because they be having dudes out here that's like completely just befuddled.
I know. So the Sixers,
be Austin.
They've been pretty good since the trade, but I think when they gel Jimmy, I think they can do some special things in the East because Jimmy, before he even came here, he was one of the leading scorers in the fourth quarter. Before he hit that shot, all together in that fourth quarter, he had 18 points on like 6 shooting or something like that. So if you got a guy like that who can finish games, since you don't really have anybody but Joel Embiid who's willing to finish one, JJ, he kind of, in those situations, it gets too pressureful for him because he can't put the ball on the floor, and they know that you're trying to get him a shot. Now you have something else that you have to guard, and I think it'll be good for them, especially since they play a lot of close games.
And what's interesting is that, to me, what's most impressive is he goes for it on both ends of the floor. Like, I see him dive in defense and make blocks and check people. I'm like, you got to respect that. And I think that his teammates have to see that.
Did you notice,
just to give you an example of how – what's up? I was going to say, just to give you an example of how bad it is with Ben. The other game, I was playing the other game when Ben was my fault, cuz. But be off. I'll tell you real quick. The other game with Ben was making shots, and his chick was in the arena, sitting courtside. The bull was making plays, turning around and grabbing his heart and like pointing to her after the plays.
Oh, he's one of them.
He winked at her. She's not even his chick though. And he was playing against the dude that also smashed. Jordan Clarkson was on the other team. And he was being real demonstrative after he cooked us.
Yeah.
Too much going on, man. He out.
That's basically what it was.
He out.
Yeah, man. So the Sixers, needless to say, with everything going on with Markelle Fultz, Jimmy Butler in there, they're like must-watch TV, like on the court and off the court. It's like a soap opera. It's like All-American, Dev. It's like a soap opera with games in between.
It is. But because it's like that, first of all, what the Sixers did last year is probably why this whole Markelle Fultz, the pressure is on him the way it is. I'm saying they sped up the expectations for the whole team. But at the same time, if I don't know if I give up on him right now from them. You let him go through his weirdo stuff because the team is good. You got Jimmy. You don't know if Jimmy's going to re-sign. So, you know what I'm saying? You might not want to give up on dude yet because if he does get right and then Jimmy leaves, then you're kind of going backwards. And, that's not going to be something that you're not going to be able to keep Ben Simmons for all the stuff that we're saying. And we already think he's going to be out when his contract is up. Like, you're not going to be able to keep him if the team is going in the opposite direction of where they were his rookie year. So I wouldn't give up on the dude, especially since you can win without him right now. Let him go through his crap.
I mean, his value is absolutely trash right now, so what you going to get for him anyway? Anyway, man, it's time to get
Terrible
out of here.
Team to take
Thank you, brothers, for joining us for another in the war. Shout out to everybody in the chat room, Facebook, Twitter, in the group me app. Shout out to everybody who called in and got through. Those we couldn't get to, we apologize. Special thanks to Gus Griffin, giving us his picks. To the next right here on demand, we're going to recap NFL Week 13, Preview 14. We'll also catch up with everything happening in the NBA and everything else around the world of sports. So until then, enjoy your weekend, man. Listen, catch everything we do at our hub. The hub is warroomsports.com, all social media, all content is there. And you can also get the book there. You can also get the book at sportsthebook.com. But remember, warroomsports.com is the hub. So until next time, everybody, don't accept mediocrity. Be steadfast in the war against ignorance, and we shall see you chumps on top.
Know the blueprint. Every Thursday, 6 to 8, they do this. Shout out to Dev, PJ, B. Austin, Doc Bay on replay. WarRoomSports.com. Get that mobile app. If not, dial 323-140012. They be going and you sensitive, then oh well. Physical podcast, let's talk sports. Showtime like magic in the block push. Listen live, push one to join in. Rip your team or listen for your enjoyment. Hip hop scholars, pit stop and knowledge. Should be in sports credits, I ain't talking college. 5 guys, no beef though. Corporate secret, but the streets know. Belafonte, I got a G flow. KC royalty, I'm in beast mode. 2 hours, get your game up. Who's the best in sportscast? You better name us. War Room Sports. Yeah, you know, Jimmy, Dev, PJ, Doc Beck, B. Austin. I'm Jock. I'll be coming on the beat.
War Room Sports, www.warroomsports.com. What? Ain't no more to it.